in 25 minutes. This is going to go. Just in case you disappear, we'll see you next Friday.
I'm not going to disappear.
Okay.
All right, Dragon's Blood.
All right.
On the morning of May 27, 1668, a gentleman was riding through a remote corner of Essex in southeast England when he stumbled across a dragon. Ooh, dragon.
It's got a dragon.
Hold on.
Obviously, we got a dragon to go with this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
9%.
8%. Even
8%. The dragon eats a lot of juice.
I bet you.
Juice.
Juice?
Where am I? It had been sunning, yes, itself at the edge of a birch wood, but suddenly reared up at his approach. It was vast, 9 feet from hissing tongue to tail, about as thick as a man's thigh, with a pair of leathery wings that appeared far too small to get its enormous bulk airborne. Where am I? The man spurred his horse, and with winged speed half the way, glad that they had escaped such an imminent danger. But the tale of the beast was not quite over yet. Men from the nearby village of Saffron Walden, perhaps worried that the dragon might become peckish and begin making inroads in their cattle herds, or perhaps bored and skeptical, set out in pursuit. To their surprise, they found that it in almost exactly the same place. Again, it lifted the front of its body in the air and, hissing loudly, disappeared into the underbrush. The villagers saw it again and again over the next few months, until one day, without explanation, they found the birchwood to be dragon-free once more. The whole saga was written down in a pamphlet, The Flying Serpent, or Strange News Out of Essex, a copy of which is still on view at the local library. It is odd to think that at the same moment villagers were scouring the local countryside trying to see off a dragon. Some 40 miles away in London, Isaac Newton was beginning to foment the scientific revolution. Perhaps the dragon's appearance was a last gasp display from a creature that was on the cusp of being driven forever into the realm of myth by the advance of the Enlightenment. And with the dragon, of course, went its blood, which had been an exclusive pigment since before the birth of Christ. When Pliny, deploring an ever-expanding palate, distracting artists from the serious business of art, wrote that India contributes the ooze of her rivers and the blood of dragons and elephants, he was referring to dragon's blood. The belief, don't worry, it's okay. The belief was the elephants had cooling blood, and dragons during the dry season carved something cool to slake their thirst. The dragons would hide in trees, waiting to ambush any elephant that might wander underneath, and then pounce. Sometimes they killed the elephants outright and drank their blood, but sometimes the elephant would crush the dragon and would die together, their two bloods mixing to form a red resonant substance called dragon's blood. As with most myths, this one contains a nub of truth overlaid with a great deal of embellishment. For a start, no animals of any kind, even mythological, are harmed in the production of dragon's blood, but this pigment does exist. It does come from the east, and trees do play a part in its production. It is in fact a wound red resin, drawn often through, not exclusively, from the Dracaena genus of trees. George Field, writing in 1835, was an enthusiastic. Not only was the pigment deepened by impure air and darkened by light, but it also reacted with the ubiquitous white lead and took forever to dry in oils. It does not, Mr. Field concluded sternly, merit the attention of the artist. He was by this time preaching to a choir of disenchanted artists. They had little use for yet another red, particularly one with such obvious limitations. Without widespread belief in dragons to sustain it, dragon's blood followed Saffron's Walden winged serpent into obscurity. Oh. Don't worry, I still love you.
That was beautiful. I think dragon's blood is going to take over butterflies on the shark. You know, what I'm telling you. That was awesome. Butterflies on the shark. You know, what I'm telling you. That was awesome.
I know.
How much do you have left on your phone, Noosh?
Let me see. The phone has 8%.